Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose your pick your main. Choose your pick a class. Commando. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Saboteur. Psy-Freak. Commando. Deadeye. Deadeye chosen. Good choice. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing, but for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you. Your inner voice, to be precise. An echo of the balance and consequence.
Can't believe you'd choose that thing over me. But I'll be here waiting for you when you have a change of heart.
That thing? I'm right.
Better half.
The best end is the...
Guess left can be right, sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The Predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the Tree of Life started to die. Misery. Clamber right up. The oil sludge is everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Hold on to that. Now that's a flesh wound. Not much left of that one. Well, what do you know? Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Don't give up now. Scrapalicious. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Sure useful. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why.
Momomboso? Yeah, Mufurbo. Boom.
He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up.
Fabobe. Mok Kofar.
He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed.
Momomboso? Fofo. Bagwa. Papabo.
There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true.
Balowotolo.
The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad.
Valo alo. Hero. Ilfov ugvuhu. Vopra boom.
The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past.
Come, Reaper.
How LUPA-LUPIN somehow left you alive after his raid on the old village.
Kuchai. Hifar. Befarb. Loma utulu. Ba. Yongo.
There's
Paikatawa. Ewe. Bob. Miami.
It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and fought.
To why? Paikatawa. Yamoloovando.
The impending threat of the World Eaters.
Loa tolu dum. Olomawanya.
Had it not been for the tree. Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here. The potato people. You found one. You should be proud. They don't come. The Nono's key energy is just what the... You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, and asks you to be gentle. The Nono was sensitive. But today... Now that you've seen the Nono's connection, You can all... He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking.
Todo mawawanya.
He lost you there for a while.
Iatu yao mawa. Todo mawawatai is.
The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after.
Yavofo non anof.
The genetic evolution that occurred after his friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Googlide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast.
Befabiita untukub kir kanzita dwella tolitrea ya maloa papamofubak.
He wants you to understand that you'll all die.
Malketo tolu nuwekek ujbar no barke.
Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb.